Okay, grade 3. Last week we got started with our first day of creating the background for our radial printmaking today, which means that we are going to be kind of putting together our stamp into a puzzle to create this round design on our background that we so beautifully colored last week. The first thing we should definitely finish today is our stamp. You have been taking a pen and going over your lines multiple times, back and forth, to make sure they are plenty deep. We are also making sure to build our design off of one corner where we have our star and going towards the outside. This star is going to help guide us when we do our printmaking of what corner goes into the center. With your background that you made last week, make sure there's no crumbly bits from your oil pastel on top. And I'd like you to set down a piece of newspaper. We're now going to begin our printing. At your table, you will have a tray with black ink in the center. It's a nice big pool of black ink. This tray is going to be shared by 4 people at your table. So the 2 people who sit here will use this side, and then the 2 people who sit over here will use this side. There will be 2 brayers that those 4 people can share. This is very important that the entire white tray does not become black. When we grab ink to cover our stamp, we are actually going to dab the brayer in the ink pool and spread it down here at the bottom by rolling towards the pool, picking up, and rolling again. Our goal is to cover the entire brayer with an even coat of black ink. Our goal is not to cover the entire white tray with ink. Once you have gotten an even layer of black ink onto your brayer, you are now going to spread it onto your stamp. The reason we're using newspaper is because your brayer may fall off the edge of your stamp. Nice even coat. Okay, now I'm going to place my brayer back down here in my ink and off to the side. It will stay in the center of your table. Next, take your colorful background and we are going to figure out where our star goes. Here's my star and I should always have it in the center. Your paper is just big enough so that you are going to lay your stamp down close to the edge down here. You can still see a tiny bit of border, but that's about it. Once I lay my stamp down, don't pick it up again. If you pick it up and try and place it back down again, it will come out as a blurry print. Next thing, we need to rub the back of our stamp. And I actually suggest taking a tissue, a face tissue from the box by the Christmas tree, and going ahead and rubbing the back. We really need to do our best job to rub hard all the areas on the back. Hold down your stamp and rub with the other hand. That way we prevent our stamp from moving around. Rub, get all those areas. And then once we are ready, we're going to peel our stamp off of our paper. Wow, that is a pretty good print. You have to be nice and slow and careful to make sure that you get a good print every time. You only have one chance to do each one. Again, I'm going to dab my ink, roll it down on my tray to cover my brayer, apply ink again to my stamp, and then we are ready for our second one. Once you get to this process, it will probably go pretty quickly. Get that star in the center of your artwork, lay it down, don't move it, and then rub the back while holding the stamp down so it doesn't move. I like using a tissue because then I can rub really hard and in all the areas that I need to get to, even those corners and sides. And let's peel it up. So there we have it. You will do this 4 times on your piece of paper. When you are finished with all of your printing, your artwork and your stamp is going to go onto the drying rack. Your piece of newspaper can get thrown away into the rubbish. I'd like you to put your brayer in the sink and your tray of black ink on the counter by the paints. Okay, boys and girls, your first task is to finish your stamp. When you finish your stamp, I will get you your ink to get started on your printing. Let's head to our desks and get started.